Oh, hi, Misu-chan here. So, for today's story time, I wanted to talk about a passionate topic that's passionate and personal to me because it kind of relates to the dark side of the anime community. And there are two different topics that I want to go over because they are personal pet peeves of mine that is an issue in this community. So, just get right into it. The first topic I want to talk about is pushing shows on someone. So we all have movies, shows, or videos that we love, and we want to spread the good word of that movie, show, or whatever. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with recommending a video to somebody. And usually the thing, like the general conversation to bring it up would be, "Hey, there's this cool thing that I think you should check it out, and I think you'd like. Here's the link to it, and you can check it out." And the general response is, okay, that sounds cool. I'll check it out whenever I can. And that's usually like the general conversation that happens, and that's fine. And then there are people who will pester you to look at something, and they won't stop until not only you have watched it, but you have as much love for it as they do. And it's honestly really annoying. And I have some experience with this because there was someone I knew in college who kept wanting me to check out the anime High School of the Dead. And I was actually interested because I've been wanting to get into that anime. And I was about 2 episodes in, and I was actually legit enjoying it. So there was one day that we met up for lunch, and we started talking about it. Then he insisted on showing me episode 6, which episode 6 is basically fan service because it's basically the entire episode is a bunch of girls who are like bathing together and talking with each other and basically getting ready for bed and stuff like that. And I insisted that I didn't want to watch it. I wanted to build up to it and watch the events that led up to it. And he just kept saying, "Oh no, don't worry, it won't spoil anything, it's literally just fan service." And he literally hijacked my computer, pulled up episode 6, and like kind of sat there and made me watch it. And after that, I had absolutely no interest in watching it at all after that, and it actually kind of disappointed me. And I had another friend that I'm not friends with anymore, but I remember he kept pushing the anime A Certain Magical Index on me, and we would watch it every single time we hung out. Like, we would have plans to do something, and before we did that thing, we would just watch episode after episode of the show, and it was good. I was enjoying it. And even after we hung out, we would go back to his place and we would watch it. But then he kept talking about it every single time we hung out, and like he kept pestering me to watch it on my own time, to the point again where I just couldn't take it, and I don't really feel like watching it anymore. And again, it legit disappointed me because I really wanted to get into A Certain Magical Index. And I have another friend who is kind of upset that I can't get into it now because of that situation. But like I said before, it's okay to recommend something to someone, but it's honestly another thing to force it down their throat. And you really shouldn't get offended if they don't like it as much as you do and don't have as much passion for it. Because everyone is going to have their own interests, and the important thing is just to let them enjoy whatever they like and just love them for having different passions and opinions. That's basically the whole point of being a human, isn't it? Anyway, so the next topic, and this one, I just can't stand, I'm sorry, but elitist anime fans. And there's just one thing I need to talk about for people who are not in the anime community and don't really know certain terms that we use in the community. So there are basically two different types of anime. There's dubbed and subbed. So subbed is basically subtitled. And those are animes that have come straight from Japan and they have Japanese dialogue, and there are subtitles at the bottom for us to understand what's going on and like the conversations back and forth between characters. And then there's dubbed animes where basically the dialogue has been like switched out into English. Like we have English voice actors that do the voices of the characters. They put those voices in with the video, and we can watch it and understand it. And everyone has their own preference of watching subbed or dubbed anime. And I know I have some friends who have some kind of reading disorder or some type of dyslexia where they can't focus on reading subtitles while watching the anime, and so they only stick to dubbed animes, and that's absolutely fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I personally like both, and also depends on which versions is available at the time. I remember when Dragon Ball Super was coming out, I wanted to wait for the English to come out, but the episodes kept coming week after week, and I was just like, okay, fine, I'm gonna sit through the Japanese voice of Goku because, I just didn't understand why he had that voice. But over time, I'm just like, okay, this is fine. I don't really care anymore. I like the voice actress. She's cool. But then there are those in the anime community who think that all English dubbed anime is basically garbage, and there are a number of them who believe you aren't a true fan if you don't watch all of your anime subtitled in Japanese. Because I actually legit heard someone say that the English version of a show called Agretsuko, which is amazing, I heard someone say that the English version of that was trash, and it kind of triggered me because that's the first version that I watched. I watched it in English first and watched it later in Japanese. I like both versions. That's just my thing. And like I said before, nothing wrong with having preference of watching either English anime or Japanese anime with English subtitles, but you shouldn't trash people for having different preferences. Because at the end of the day, all the voice actors who play all of our beloved characters, they all love their jobs and are amazing at their roles they play, and we all, at the end of the day, just love seeing them at conventions, getting our pictures taken with them, getting autographs, and at the end of the day, that's honestly what it should be about. But that's all the rambling that I have for today. I hope everyone has a great New Year's and a great 2020. I cannot believe we are going into 2020, you guys. Oh my gosh. But yeah, anyway, thanks again for watching. And going into the new decade, remember to stay weird and awesome.